Kumbaya. Hey, Pisces Suns. Pisces Sun Signs belong around a fireplace, a campground, roasting marshmallows in the middle of the night, telling stories. But instead of ghost stories, they are telling things that they have never told anyone. That's where a Pisces belongs. They want that universal, warm, cozy connection where nobody has walls up and everyone can tell the truth and expose their heart, not have all these boundaries up to each other. Pisces are unconditional lovers and they are so compassionate, and so they feel most comfortable when other people are in that same realm. When other people are feeling like they can be compassionate and they can be loving, that's where a Pisces really feels at home. They're kind of like real saints. Not like saints that just do what they're told so they can look good, but like people that really dedicate their life to love and trying to figure out how to be giving, and they live to give to others. And because of this, they often see the world through rose-colored glasses. They want to see kindness and generosity and a better world than it really is. Pisces, which is symbolized by the two fish, represents the one side that lives in the dream state and the other fish that lives in the real world. So they're trying to bring the dream world into reality. That sounds pretty difficult. They are the 12th sign, so they are the oldest and wisest. They know what life is really about. They know what the real goal is. They're not doing it for prestige and for ranking and title or whatever. They are doing it because of an inner compass that, hey, they got and nobody else did. That's fair. And it guides them in the right direction. They know right and wrong on a very evolved level. So similar to Aquarius, they don't have an ego. But instead of Aquarius, where they dedicate more of their time towards a career and innovation, Pisces wants to dedicate their time to love. Of course, that's not to say that there haven't been amazing CEOs and world leaders that have been Pisces. Actually, often the very best ones are Pisces. Pisces usually don't go that direction unless they feel it's very necessary and important. Some examples are Einstein, Steve Jobs, George Washington, if you've heard of that guy. And because they're Pisces and they have that inner navigation, they know how to do things for the right reasons, so they don't get lost in their own ego and self-ambition. So Pisces is the most evolved of the water signs. It is mutable, so it's changeable. They are flexible people. They actually are very intelligent often, but they spend more time on matters of the heart because they feel that that's more evolved and warrants the most attention. A Pisces friend once told me some really good advice. He said, being happy is the hardest thing you can ever do in life. And I think that comes straight from the Pisces compass. If we spend more time trying to find how to make ourselves happy, then we bring more joy to other people's lives. Pisces seem to have everything going for them, right? Of course, that's not exactly true. Every sign has to have some downsides. One of Pisces is that they have such big hearts that in relationships, they often go for the person they can save, and you know how well that usually goes. Pisces, remember to find someone who you're compatible with, who understands you, and not just a project. Keep the projects for your work life and community service. Pisces love everyone and everything, but the hardest thing for them to do is love themselves. And what I mean by that is that they want to connect to the universe at large. They don't like the separation. It feels lonely to them to be a person and to have an identity separate from the universal consciousness. And anybody who's listening to this that's not a Pisces probably doesn't understand what I'm saying. That loneliness can make it so that they don't really want to like themselves. That would mean that they are identifying what makes them separate from everyone else. But remember, it is your number one job to be happy. And once you can do that, everything else comes easily. Pisces, probably more than any other sign other than Cancer, would need some time to separate from everyone, be that homebody, recharge their energy, just be able to relax, daydream, really. Half the time, you're living in the dream world, and you can't do that effectively if you are around people all the time. Pisces are very creative. They pull from everything because they connect to everything. Their creativity is not just based on their own life. It's based on experiences and empathy and signals they're picking up from everyone else because they're very intuitive people. They might even know you better than you know yourself, and that can be kind of freaky. They are, of course, total romantics. Their ideal would be this unconditional love where there's a partner and they're just so perfect for each other and they just dote on each other. Every day they think of like amazing things to do for each other. Instead of going for that lost cause, find one of those people that can really give you back what you deserve. Really? Seriously? Take me up on that. Because Pisces is so intuitive, they don't really believe in the material world. They use their compass for that inner journey. They're the only ones that really know if their life is successful or not because they don't gauge it based on what everyone else is saying. It might seem to their friends and family that they are just like lost and what are you doing with your life? But if they're happy, then they're happy and they know what they're up to. The color of the fish is, of course, blue because it's water. Also, Pisces feel recharged when they go into water or they're around water. Like swimming and outdoor kind of water activities are really good and therapeutic. For a Pisces to feel like they've really done well in life, they need to feel like they have left the world better and more loving than it was before. They need to feel like the love that they have has grown, they have shared it, and people have taken that love and paid it forward. Often Pisces get taken advantage of. When people find someone that's willing to just be so giving, they don't get it. They don't understand that, no, you're not supposed to just take that and then drain them of that. You're supposed to pay it forward to the next person and live that, become that. Pisces, remember, spend your time and energy with people that are not those vampire types that are just going to take what you have and not give anything back. But find people that are really looking for some kind of positive message. They want to better their lives. The two fish also symbolize going with the flow of things. They're not trying to be demanding on life and say, I want to be this and that, and by the time I'm 25, I'm going to be a millionaire or whatever. They are just wanting to pick up from life what messages and experiences they can and learn from life, and not the other way around. They're all about the experience and the feelings and that inner world. The downside of Pisces is that dream world, that kind of imagination that you guys have that's so evolved, can be your downfall. When you get lost into addictions and things that do take you to a universal consciousness, but in a bad way, you can't get out. Because Pisces have such big hearts and they're looking to fill that void of loneliness, it's really hard to measure up because the world is not as evolved in matters of the heart. Often Pisces can turn towards things like addictions, like drugs and alcohol and sex and all those kind of things to try to feel a connection. It's a cheap form of love, like Kurt Cobain was a Pisces. Really, there's no substitute for love. You have to find the real, genuine thing because your unconditional love needs to be matched by some kind of external unconditional love for you to truly be happy and to reach your potential. Whatever you do, do not forgo love. Priority number one. If you're in a bad relationship, you're not being given genuine unconditional love, get out of it. You don't owe anyone anything. Pisces, you guys have such big hearts that you don't want to let go, but you're not going to do anyone any good if you waste all of your potential with someone that can never really understand what you're trying to say. Kumbaya. You know what? More campfires in the world would make the world a better place, right? So this is the last of my series of sun signs, and next will be moon signs.